Oh, hello there, this is Shinzer, and today we're here playing Overhit again on a formation tutorial. Formation skills and formation abilities in general, and everything you should know about formation. So this is actually the second time I record this video, because the first time it was really long, and I decided to record again. This was actually a request by GOM, I think that's his name, he's the Overhit global leader. And I decided it was a good idea to make a quick tutorial about this. So the first thing you need to know about formation is that here is the option where you go into the formation teams. Another thing that you should note is that you can click here on the side to select all the teams for every mode in the game. These are all the modes of the game, like story mode, and then the dungeon farming, and then the ship, and PvP, and raid, and the PvP, the open world kind of PvP. So yeah, we first should look at the formation skills, which is this button right here. And here we have the 3 lanes of the formation. Here's the back lane, here's the middle lane, and here's the front lane. And here you can click to select which skill do you want that formation to be using. And also you can upgrade it here with a bunch of gold. It's a bit expensive, but it's worth it to use. So we're gonna go through all of this very quickly, and I will tell you what are my opinions about them. But I have to tell you, I'm no professional, so here we go. This one, whenever your character heals, the target can be in any lane, and the target might get 1,000 shield for 30 seconds. This 1,000 number increases as long as you increase the skill level. So your healer has a chance to give someone a shield when he heals. And at first I used to use this because I thought it was nice, but then I realized the chances of this actually happening is really low. So when my healer usually heals the whole group, maybe one person, sometimes 2, but most times just one person or even none gets a shield. And also the shield is only for 30 seconds, so it goes by kind of fast. So I don't agree, I don't support using this anymore. And then the second one, which is the most interesting one in my opinion, is every time you cast a buff, there is a chance that you will give an additional buff to that person, defense buff of 357, and the value increases as you increase the thing. So when you cast a buff on a character or on the party, there's a chance they're gonna get another buff of defense, which is really nice. But then the most important part comes after, and it also cleanses 1 debuff from that person. So if these effects of the defense buff actually procs, you actually remove a debuff on them as well. So this can remove CC, crowd control, and can remove other debuffs that you might be having at the time. And although it's a chance, so there's a lot of randomness going on, I think this is the best one out of the 3 options right here. And you can dispel that way. If your healer has a buff together with the heal, then he can dispel this. Then he can dispel your party members. Now the last one, which is more a bit offensive, is whenever you debuff the enemy, you also reduce the damage they deal by the amount, the current amount, and for 30 seconds, and also you remove a buff from them. So you kind of dispel your enemy as well as you reduce their attack. So it's interesting if maybe there is a chance to make a backline mage where you could keep debuffing them and just keep applying these things. And if they stack, which I'm not sure if they do, but if they stack, it might reduce a lot of attack. It might make it useful somehow to have this option. So for now, I'm gonna keep this one, even though my healer is Haru and she doesn't actually buff. Anyway, let's go. This is the middle lane, which is usually the attack lane. The first one has a small chance, not a chance, but even says small chance, to deal extra damage when you attack. I think this is a flat damage, although it doesn't say it's a flat damage, because the game has a few types of damage, for example flat damage, but it doesn't say here. But I'm guessing it makes sense that it would be flat damage. Anyway, so this is a small chance of just doing like 200 damage or 300 damage. I'm not sure if this is really worth it. I played around with it before and I didn't get, I don't know, I don't know if it just couldn't see it happening or it was just not happening. So I thought it was not great. And then the second one, which is whenever you counter strike, for 30 seconds, you improve your own attack by 730. So that's a lot of attack right here. So I like this one the best because it's always 100% as long as you counter. And well, you might say counter is a bit random and maybe you're not going to counter, but my characters these days have been countering a lot. I have some gear that increase the counter strike chance, and it has been happening a lot. And I think 730 attack is a significant amount. Now the other option of this lane, which is kind of nice, is every time you do a critical strike, there is a chance, like a medium chance. It doesn't say small, but it doesn't say medium, just like a bit chance to heal yourself of that amount. Yeah, and I used this a lot before, and I'm still confused about which one should I use. But lately I've been noticing that my characters have not been healing through this. I'm not sure if my critical strike is just smaller than before, and maybe that has impacted it. My critical strike chance, of course. Or if it's just, I just got lucky before when I was doing some testing, and now I'm getting just unlucky, or I don't know. I don't see them healing from this anymore, so I decided to drop it for the second one. Now the frontal lane, which is usually the tank lane, the first skill is whenever you cast a skill, you increase your own defense by the amount that you paid for 30 seconds. Nice, nice. Who doesn't like extra defense, right? Every time you cast a skill, and you should be casting, but maybe you don't cast the skill that often if you're a tank because you just want to do damage, so maybe you do not want to pick this one up. And I'm gonna tell you the reason I picked this one up, although I'm still not totally convinced that I should. But let's go to the second one. The second one is every time you take damage, there is a small chance to deal this amount of damage back to the person. So it's like a reflect damage thing. It says like a counter damage, but it's not really counter damage. It's like counter reflect kind of thing. So you can increase by here by paying, of course. And it's a small chance, and I've seen people killing. I had this on before, and I've seen people killing themselves through this damage, which is interesting, but then it's a small chance, and I'm not sure if it was worth it. I wish some other people would do some theory crafting on these options, but maybe we'll get to that later. And the last one, last but not least, every time you block an attack, you have a medium chance of healing yourself for this amount. I also used this before, and the blocks are so hard. Like, you don't get to block that often. At least with the tanks that I have right now and the gear that I have right now, I get to block sometimes, very rarely. And the blocking is already very rare. And this chance to proc is also very rare. So I think I had this on for a long time, and I never saw it actually heal my tank. Because on top of the randomness of block, I also have the randomness of this proccing, of this happening. So yeah, so I would consider just this two, maybe even this one, because people can kill themselves, and your tank doesn't use the skills that much. So yeah, that's all for the formation skills. And the reason I picked the defense one for the frontal lane is because she's on my frontal lane. And right now we're gonna go dive into the line skills that every hero has. So every hero when they're that's not what I want to do. So when they're 4 stars, they gain their line skills, and it's like a passive skill that has an effect. So for example, you can see through going to the hero, and this skill is the line effect. It's written even in English, you can easily figure that out. So let's see how that works. So we have a few types of line effects. This one, which you can see from the icon what does it affect. It's kind of easy to figure it out, but let's go through it. Like this one is always the middle lane. It always affects the middle lane. Even if she's on the back lane, it's affecting the middle lane. And you can see which one she's affecting by the orange glow around it. I clicked on her, and it shows orange glow on middle. That means the middle lane is being buffed. I clicked on him, you can see middle lane's being buffed. I clicked on her, front lane's being buffed. Now, See, as you can see here, it's always on the front lane. However, if there was a ball, a circle thing, as you can see on her, there is a circle thing here. This means wherever she is, she will buff the lane she's on. So as you can see, I can move her to the back lane, and now she's buffing the back lane. Right, this is the same from Adi. And yeah, so another option you have is like this, where there is a circle and then there is the lane behind. This doesn't mean he will buff the last lane. It means he will buff the lane right behind him. So as you can see, it's orange here. And if I happen to move him here, he's buffing this lane. All right, so I think this is all you need to know for the lanes. And also another important thing that you should know for this formation is you can click on this button right here. And here you have all the possible combinations of heroes that you can put in your party that will have an extra effect. So they will have an extra skill in this case, but sometimes they also have an extra effect. But let's go through skills first. So I have Ashu, which is this guy, together with this girl, and they're giving me one extra skill, this one right here. It does this amount of damage, and it puts all skills of the person on cooldown for 30 seconds. A really amazing skill, but not that great for PvP because it's just one target. And as you can see, all of them have one target. You can see right here how many targets the skill hit, and that's valid for any skill anywhere. So that's a tip that's not really I shouldn't cover in this tutorial, but here it is. So this affects 5 people, and here one person. Yeah, so you can see like that the number right on the second word is actually the number of people it hits. So here you can see all the possible combinations of characters that I have. So if I were to put this 2 here on my party, I would have this extra skill. And something else that you should know about this combination of heroes is that if you come here over on the help and you see all the combinations, we can see that Ashu and Adin are here together. And on top of doing this skill together, they also improve some stats. So they increase the health by 750. And they also have a chance to block damage by 2%. They increase this. They also add some extra effects. And as you can see, even my Ophelia, if she was on the group, she would also give them 160 armor. And I think these stats are only gathered by the people on this team, not the whole party, just both of them. Oh, sorry, I'm getting a message on. Oh my god. Let me shut that on. Okay. So yeah, so that's another thing you should note. And let's go back to the team formation. So let's talk really quickly about the team options of line skills that you have. So if you see something like this, which is just a flat number and 3 syllables, it's attack, right? Here is 3 syllables. This means attack. So she increased attack. She also increased attack. As you can see, 3 syllables, and a number without percentage. Now this one, there is like 3 syllables and then 2 syllables. This 3 syllables first means critical strike, critical, and the second one means chance. So it's critical chance, and then 13%. Right? If you look at him, his attack as well, as you can see, 3 syllables, attack. And we look at her. For HP, she gives HP. You don't need to figure out, you don't need to care about the Korean, because you can just figure out by the number it is. It's such a high number, you know, and you can guess it's HP. But if you need something to go by, it's the 3 syllables. Yeah, second word, 3 syllables. Let's look at another options of line. This is the defense one, where we also have 3 syllables as the last ones and a percentage. So this is reduced damage taken. Did I say defense? It was not defense, it was reduced damage taken. And also we have this one, which is critical strike block. So when you have 3 syllables as the first one, and then a middle one with 2, and then another 2, as you can see, they're really similar. If we look at this like that, these 3 syllables are the same, but there's this word in the middle, and this means block or prevention. And then this means there is a 10% chance to prevent critical strike. What else do we have? Let's give it a look very quickly. damage block. Oh, I know what we have. We have this one. Okay, so this is critical again, but the second word has 3 syllables. This means damage. It really means, it's written in English, damage. And 46%. So you can kind of guess if the percentage is too big, it's probably critical damage. I think that's the only thing that has a percentage that big. And that's pretty much all the options for the line passive. You can kind of figure out without knowing Korean. I would say so. Oh, we have this other option, which is just 3 syllables here, but on the title there is a 2 syllable. And then this means defense. So it increases the defense of the lane. So I think those are all the options for the passive that I'm aware of. Yeah, so this one also reduces the damage, 3 syllables in the end, plus a percentage. This one increases the, what did I say? I said defense. She reduces the damage taken. I don't remember what I said. So here, 3 syllables and percentage reduce damage taken. And this guy increases defense. And yeah, I think that's it for the tutorial. I should note that there are some things that you shouldn't be doing. For example, I see a lot of people doing this, even with a setup very similar to this in PvP. And there is absolutely no point of having the Haru right here. You could claim that she's gonna remove the debuff if you have this passive right here. But still, it's kind of random. I'm not sure if I would do that, especially the healing is random. Everything's so random. So usually what I like to do is I would like to put her on the front lane, because that's the only way she would get a buff. She would buff herself of 1000 HP. If she's in the back lane, no one's buffing her at all. Like this guy buffs the back lane, and these all buff the middle lane. But some healers are nice on the back lane. For example, Frey buffs the lane right in front of her of critical strike chance. So yeah, it's good to have her on the back lane. Now, and also when you put her on the front lane, whenever she uses a skill, she will get the defense buff for 30 seconds to make her more tanky. Or you can put the other options as well. Last thing I would like to mention is that you can click this button right here to see all the buffs together. So as you can see, this girl is giving 300 attack, and this one is giving 300 attack, and he is giving 300 attack to this lane. So the total is 986 attack and 13% critical strike for the middle lane for this people. And yeah, that's it. Now, I would love if you guys leave a comment below just telling me if it was useful, what did you learn, and what else would you like translated, or a brief explanation of some mechanics. Please do let me know on the comments below. I get some traction on my videos if you comment on YouTube, so that's great. I would be really thankful for that. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.